Hey, this is Katie, and this is the second installment of my job search video diary. And it is the end of my first week of unemployment and uh, my job search. Just to recap, my job was affected in a huge reduction in force at my company last week. And so this week was my first week of unemployment, and I've been really busy and really active this week. I've been trying to maintain my traditional work schedule, getting up at a normal time, starting work at about 8 or 8:30. My work consists of networking, doing resume updates, sending thank you notes, sending emails to potential leads and contacts, and also doing some interviewing. And I'll get a little into some of the interviews that I had this week, but I also had a meeting with the career or placement counselor that my company is providing, and that is also a very useful service, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So, this week, I had three interviews. I had two phone interviews and one in-person interview. One of those phone interviews is going to lead into a second interview next week for a potential job. And in addition to that, I've had a couple of people request my resume, and I've actually had one recruiter call me as well. And so those are a lot of potential opportunities that I'll be following up on next week and this week. And the other thing is I met with the career counselor, and one of the things that we're doing is we're continuing to update my resume, try to provide a couple of different resume options based on the different industries that I'm going to be looking into, so that I'm not just focusing on high tech. Even though I'd like to stay in high tech, there are a lot of opportunities out there, and I think I need to do myself a favor and explore those. And one of the other things that I've learned in talking to the career placement counselor is that I don't quite have to be desperate. Maybe don't take the first job that's offered to me if it's not the right salary or if it's not in the right location, because one of the things that I am learning is that I do have a lot of great experience. I have a lot of expertise, and I am a valuable employee, and I can contribute a lot to a company. But I think when you are unemployed and you're under the gun to find a new job, that you can feel a little bit desperate. And so one of the things that I'm struggling against is, maybe if I get an offer, consider whether or not the pay is right and that the job is right for me, so that I'm not in this situation in another year or 2 years. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. I'm also doing some mock interviewing with her, focusing on my strengths and weaknesses, because I think I may have said this before, but as a marketeer, I'm used to selling a product, and I'm used to focusing the attention on some inanimate object, or changing the focus to be not on myself but on a spokesperson, and so not myself. So I am learning to have the focus on me, as well as accessing that confident person, because when you have something as devastating as losing a job, even if it is a layoff and you're just one in several hundred people that lost your job, it can affect you negatively. And so I'm trying to stay positive and learn to access that that positivity in myself. So those are some of the things that I'm working on this week. And next week I'll continue to do more networking, do more outbound emailing and calling to people in my network of people in the industry. And one of the things that I'm also going to start doing is looking into some networking events, whether it's happy hours or AMA meetings, and or PR meetings and so forth. So those are some of the things that I might look into next week, and I'll let you know what I find out. For anyone else who is looking for a job, either actively because they are also unemployed or are looking for a new job, another thing that I've learned is that LinkedIn is probably the place to be. I have seen a lot of increased activity on my own LinkedIn account. I'm also including my LinkedIn profile on my resume and on my signature line on my emails. And I'm following new people, either people that I know through other colleagues, or as I research companies, I might have a second or third degree connection through them. Another thing that I'm learning is that companies are doing a lot of recruiting through LinkedIn. So follow companies that you like or are interested in and look at the jobs that they have listed in LinkedIn, because it seems to me that recruiters are looking there. So far, I've had 2 potential leads come through LinkedIn. So use it to its maximum potential. Anyway, that's all I have for this week, and I'll see you next week.